Trent Carter from Waterloo Park, Manu, Victoria, here to introduce our latest additions, the Akron inloaders and outloaders. This one here is an absolutely fantastic new addition. The speed that this thing can fill a bag, the efficiency is absolutely exceptional. Full hydraulic system, braking system, lifting, bags on and off, adjustments is been outstanding. Quick walk around the machine. Obviously, number one, the hopper up top, 4-5 tonne a minute, and that certainly keeps up to that with ease. We have very over-engineered braking system and tyres for flotation, which is fantastic. From our previous model, not an Akron, but another brand, the ability to keep that inloader tracking straight was always a bit of a battle. This machine really seems to track exceptionally well. Obviously a straight bag laid makes it a hell of a lot easier outloading, which has been fantastic. The actual way to load bags is dramatically improved from what we previously had. As I said, it's always in the heat of harvest and you've always got headers full, pressure's on. Previously needing probably 2 to 3 people. With this we've easily lost a couple of labour units there. You can nearly do it yourself. Moving from this to 75, 100s, 150 metre bags, it's a huge step. So seeing here, tray comes out, the lifting cage on top goes all the way down pretty much to the ground, so it's just a 1-2 person lift on. That hydraulically lifts up and lift the bottom of your bag onto the tray and back in under. It's a very, very simple and fast process. Previous inloaders, we had a lot of trouble with the bags bulging on the side, grain escaping through, and also on the bottom tray. We're probably a dozen bags last harvest and didn't have any issues at all with that on the side or underneath. So fantastic. Obviously, yep, hydraulic driven, everything, braking systems, adjustments, movements as said. And then yes, hydraulic braking system compared to other models that have pressure pads on the tyres. So yeah, we quite limited in fluctuations of hydraulic pressures. Obviously, yep, expansion of liquids from the cool of the morning to the heat of the day. So we've found that we don't really need to adjust this a great deal, especially compared to our last model. Another great feature is the sampling port here. So when you kick things into gear, just a quick flick and have a sample bag, chaff bag there, ticking away. It's fantastic. So we go along and try and do it in chaser bin segments. So at the end of the day, we've got a full running sample of that bag. So there's full transparency when we're delivering our grain. And if there's any issues, we can be on the front foot and say, oh, hang on a minute, it will improve or no, or, you know, start negotiating. So it's a fantastic feature. Rain, never had any issues. Obviously hydraulics, quick 5-minute tilt, leaning forward, any rain that falls, drop your inspection door there at the bottom and water just pretty much teams out. So, and nothing back into the bag. So yes, a fantastic piece of equipment. Looking at the back end of the machine, obviously inloading augers being over-engineered there. A lot of hard facing on the augers, so it'll certainly see my time out. Looking at the back of the machine, obviously jacks there only just for storage. We've found that we can have a bag loaded up in the shed with ease, ready to go, do it in the cool of the morning, what it may be, pre-harvest, and bang, you're out in the paddock ready to go. So yeah, this whole cage here is hydraulically driven there, so that comes all the way back out to the ground, probably sits 200 mil off the ground, and if you do want that a little bit closer, you can use that hydraulic ram at the front to tilt the machine back a little bit. To give you a little bit more leverage there. So yeah, bag on top, on the top cage. This tray down here actually comes all the way back. So by the time this cage lifts up, your bag's nearly hanging pretty much on that bottom tray and you just play around 1 to 1, 1 to 2 with your hydraulics and just walk it back under. Rubber strip there, which that just needs to be teased out and that stops any grain transitioning back to your bottom tray. Air vents up top, they're great. Previous model we had to drill more holes in just to stop that initial puffing of the bag when you're filling it up, to get that weight and back pressure there and start naturally moving the machine forward. We've had on this machine 200 horsepower John Deere 7000 series machines, and tracks it, pushes it well. So yeah. So filled our bags, outloading. Akron, this is our latest model. Previous model we had issues with, I suppose, maintenance, and that was mainly due to chains and sprockets in all our pinch point areas. They've been nearly eliminated in this whole machine. PDO driven, there's chain here and then your full PDO shaft the whole way through, and then unis going down. So there's only one chain at the front. And always when you have issues, it's when you've got trucks waiting there in the paddock and there's no other option, because you've got your outloader on the bag, tractors there, and there's not one sitting down the road generally. So we can, what are we? Probably 15, 20 minutes for a B double. We don't push this at all. We've never really had it running at capacity, but fast enough that their airbags are struggling to keep up. So yeah, hydraulically adjusted, obviously auger out, and the actual whole frame swings around. The actual bag rolling barrel there, the width is fantastic. We don't find that we have bags pinching or bunching up on the end. There's plenty of space there to pull a 10-foot bag in. Obviously hardened flighting there, which is great. Now this push plate here, absolutely fantastic. That there, just to give yourself a little bit more ability to clean your bag towards the end, has been a great feature compared to our last model. So that's hydraulically driven as well. And it's always a great gauge with your depth and height of actually unloading a bag, because you can see that from the tractor, and just making sure that for us, we run 20, 30 mil, 50 mil, if you are in a little bit softer ground. Same thing, tyres. If you start getting tyres sinking, then you start chewing out the bottoms of bags. So wider, higher flotation tyres have been great. Obviously we have had times when we have sunk, but wider tyres still gives you the ability to steer that bagging machine to follow your bag back. And yeah, with reference to your push plate. Unloading your bag has been very easy with this simple quick release around the corner here. So finished our bag, rather than hydraulics, just a quick flick and that's free rolling. So you can just pull your bag straight off, which is fantastic. Now, bag cutting angle, that is this here with this little spike. We've found that we've probably 4 times out of 5 don't actually even need to do the traditional tee and slice. It'll actually dive into the bag, start cutting. The angle of that is fantastic. And yeah, never really have any issues. Obviously adjustable blade there, depending on the height of your bag, whether oats are sitting up higher or wheat's sitting down lower, naturally as grain does. But yeah, once that sort of, yeah, obviously gets going, we've never had any issues where it's bulldozing, pushing, not cutting. So with this machine, we have had the flexibility and the transition from 9 to 10 foot bags. This is a 10 foot outloading machine, but we have outloaded probably half a dozen 9 foot bags. We're just removing this piece of flighting and this guard and just slightly driven off centre. So versatility there has actually been exceptional. But yeah, over-engineered, yeah, very, very solid machine, and we've had a tremendous run with it. Once you hook onto the bag, I know the previous one we had to be quite finicky with the way that the bag's lined up, a little bit more tension on the top than the bottom. This one, pretty much keep everything level, slap it on, 10 minutes into the bag and it just finds its way and you're cruising. So